Have you thought about getting a small magnetic loop? Maybe something that packs up nice and small. Perhaps the AlexLoop Hampack is for you. Welcome to the House of Ham. This is Bob, WV7W, and today we're going to take a look at the AlexLoop Hampack as part of my Antenna Addiction series.
Antenna Addiction Series.
Before we dive in, please consider subscribing, as it helps me grow the channel, and you will get notified when I create a new video. Also, if you like this, please hit that like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm and gets this out to more hams. The AlexLoop Hampack is a small magnetic loop QRP antenna for 40 through 10 meters that can handle 25 watt single sideband and 10 watts for CW or digital. Now the Hampack comes with this nice small backpack that holds the antenna as well as these two internal bags. The first bag can hold your portable transceiver like an ICOM IC705 or a Yaesu FT817 or an Elecraft KX2 or KX3. The other larger bag can hold all of your accessories and then some. Now this isn't the lightest antenna out there, at about 5.5 pounds with the backpack and the two interior bags. The antenna alone is only about 2.6 pounds. Now chances are you're going to need a backpack anyhow, so the added weight of the pack may not matter to you. You're also going to have to account for the weight of the tripod or whatever you plan to support this antenna with in your weight allowance. Now if you want to go ultralight, for say a long hike up to a summit, you may be better off with say an end-fed half wave or a dipole if you have some structure that you can throw it up in. If not, this may be a good alternative. Now another great use for this antenna is if you don't have room for say ground radios, like at a busy park, or say you want to work off of your hotel room balcony. Or maybe you need to be stealthy in say an HOA restricted location. The AlexLoop is great in these situations and will get you on the air, and that really is the point, isn't it? Now the one thing this kit does not include is a way to support it. You're on your own for that. Now I will use this little tripod that I have removed the ball head from. The support tube fits perfectly over the tripod shaft, and the AlexLoop isn't very heavy or have a large wind load, so any lightweight tripod should work fine. The setup is pretty quick and easy. You start by putting the three tubes together with the tuning box at the bottom and the small inner loop at the top. The next thing is to take the outer loop coax and put the ring at the top of the support tube and attach the two coax connectors to each side of the tuning box. The ring at the top is pretty tight fit, so you kind of have to work it a bit. I wish it was easier to go on. Make sure the coax stays down along the support tube. If you allow it to go at an angle or come in contact with the loop, it will throw your tuning way off. Now the quality of the AlexLoop is first rate. I think the real selling point for this over many of the others like it is this tuning box. I think this alone justifies the additional cost of say over the Chameleon F loop or the Alpha loop. Now in all fairness, I haven't used the other two and I'm going off of the research I did before I bought the AlexLoop. Now if you have one of the other portable MagLoop antennas, leave a comment below and tell me what you think of it. The AlexLoop has this nice big knob that has a gear reduction, so tuning it is easier than most. It also has these markings for each of the ham bands, which makes it easier to get close to your target quickly. Now if you haven't tuned a MagLoop before, then you may have no idea just how sharp the tuning is. Even with the gear reduction, the slightest movement is the difference between a good tune and not. I can't imagine trying to tune a loop without gear reduction. Now Alex has also added this nice tuning LED, so tuning this thing is pretty straightforward. The best way to tune this thing is to start by adjusting for max receiver noise on your radio. That will get you really close. Then key the transceiver and tune for max brightness of the LED. You can further refine with your radio's SWR meter as well if you like. You will normally want to operate with this near you since you really need to be able to reach both the radio and the tune box at the same time. This is really not a problem for most portable operators. Now let's tune this up on a couple bands and show you how quick and easy it is to get a tune. I will start with the 40 meter band in the CW portion, let's say 7.060 megahertz. And I was able to get a 1.7 to 1 tune on it. I found 40 to be a bit challenging, but as it's at the lower limit of this antenna, it's really not too bad. Next, let's try 20 meters in the voice portion of the band. Let's say 14.200 megahertz. And here I'm able to get a 1.0 to 1 tune, so basically a perfect match. And that's kind of right in the middle of this antenna, so it's kind of to be expected. And last I went to 10 meters, 28.300, and I was only able to get it down to about 2.5 to 1. I haven't played with it too much with band conditions. 10 meters really hasn't been happening. So if you've been able to do better, leave me a comment below and tell me what you've done to be able to get a good tune on 10. So let's talk about the good and the bad of that tight tuning bandwidth of this or any other AlexLoop antenna. Now on the negative side is you're going to have to retune it even if you move just a couple kilohertz away. So scanning around the band is really not practical. If you like to search and pounce, a AlexLoop may not be for you. Now, if you are a call CQ and work a bunch of stations, say at like a park activation or something like that, this isn't an issue. And on the plus side, the noise and QRM are also significantly reduced from nearby signals since this is acting like a bandpass filter. So picking that signal out might be a bit easier. So how does this thing perform? Now, I haven't done side-by-side comparisons with other antennas, but I've made contacts with it, so I know it works. So theoretically, a magnetic loop antenna will outperform a dipole that is mounted at less than a half wave above the ground, like what you may have set up in a portable situation. Now, this is due to better takeoff angle, particularly for DX. There is some directionality along the loop axis, but it's not as tight as, say, a beam. Of course, your mileage will vary. Now, like most other small antennas, it is a compromise, but I'm actually pretty impressed so far. Is it worth the $600 price tag? I guess that really depends on how much a compact setup and portability is worth to you. But for a true antenna junkie, it could be a must-have. So you may be asking, would I recommend it or would I buy it again? And the answer is yes, I like it. It is yet one more option in my QRP antenna arsenal. I like the backpack, so I can get all of my stuff, including my lunch, in a pack for a summit or park activation. So until next time, this is WV7W 73s.